Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. I'm in Tinley Park, right outside Chicago at the big reptile show. There are tons of cool animals and tons of people. I'm going to take this time and highlight the coolest stuff. You're watching SnakeBytes. Alright, so Tinley Park is really known for having awesome ball pythons, and I always try to go into different animals other than ball pythons in these reptile shows. But the truth is, there's just so many cool ones I have to highlight. And I'm going to start with this super pewter. Basically what it is a super pastel, super cinnamon. So you have two super forms together, and it just makes this amazing gray slate type animal. And it's kind of cool that it has this black paradoxing and even some white blotching as well. It's definitely a showstopper. I'm at my good friend Oz from Ozzy Boyd's table, and it's not often that I see a ball python that just absolutely blows me away, but this one certainly does. Take a look at how gorgeous this thing is. It's actually a super orange dream fire spider yellow belly. That's right, it's a whole lot to say, but what a beautiful snake.
Which ball python morph is not a codominant? A, cinnamon, B, fire, or C, ghost? Answer with a comment and keep watching to see if you're right.
All right, I'm here with my new apprentice, Tim Johnson. I'm telling you what, he's 11 years old and he knows more about snakes than I probably do. He's really cool, and I'm going to have him help me out with a really cool pied collage. I'm going to start out with this albino pied. Now, pieds are just amazing animals in themselves, but as soon as you add that albino gene, it's really cool, the contrasting. Tim, tell me what's your favorite pied morph?
My favorite pied morph would have to be the female ghost pied.
The female ghost pied. Well, let's take a look at it. Again, the albino pied is another double recessive animal, but as you can see with Tim right here, he's holding a ghost pied. This is actually another double recessive. It's hypo or ghost bred into pied. And there's one last pied that I have to show you that's really cool. This is actually a black pastel pied. Now, when you breed these guys together, or two black pastel het pieds, you can get the panda pied, but you can see even the black pastel pied almost looks like a panda pied, being almost black and white. So tell me what, Tim, what's your plans for the next cool ball python?
The next cool ball python is, for me, it's a secret, but I'm going to tell you, sugar orange dream.
A sugar orange dream. You guys heard it here first. Don't tell anyone, right, Tim?
Don't tell anyone.
You guys know I love sulcata tortoise. I have my little hen and my Speedy, but this one is super, super cool. It's an albino sulcata. Now again, it's a recessive mutation, and I tell you what, it's a male. He's probably about 7 or 8 years old. He's probably close to 80 or 90 pounds. And again, this guy's gonna live for probably 100 plus years. I tell you what, I'd love to get this and breed it to a couple of mine and produce some hets, hatch out some baby albinos one day. Now this is one impressive snake. This is a red Sumatran blood python. He's about 7 years old, and you can certainly see that although sometimes blood pythons have a little bit of a nasty attitude, and I certainly have a couple of them back at my shop that are a little bit dodgy, you can see this guy is puppy dog tame. And just what a beauty too. I'm here at CM Exotics and Imports. I tend to be spending a lot of time at their booth over the last couple shows because they have some incredible animals, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this one. This is actually a South American Cayman lizard, and it's just an absolute beauty. I tell you what, it's just an amazing mix between a lizard and a crocodile almost. And what's interesting about these guys is that they typically eat snails, but fortunately this 3.5-year-old male is on cat food, and it's probably why it's such a beast. And I tell you what, it's got some wicked sharp claws. You can see I'm bleeding a little bit for you guys. I have a really cool lizard that you're not going to see very often, and this is a Chinese crocodile lizard. They're from northern China, and it stays really cool there because they're up in the altitudes. Matter of fact, the locals there typically call them stone lizards because they barely move. For 2 or 3 days, you might just see them in the exact same spot. But unfortunately, a lot like a lot of the animals out there, they're getting really endangered. There was a recent survey that said there's only 300 to 400 left in the wild. They have live young, having anywhere from 2 to 6 babies. Believe it or not, their gestation is up to 8 months long. I'll tell you what, they are just cool animals. So I happen to be in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day, so of course I'm going to show you guys something green. Just so happens I'm going to show you something really cool that's not a typical green animal, and that's these pied-veiled chameleons. That's right, typically they're going to be a green animal with a little bit of yellow pigment, but the pied ones have these really cool white blotching all over it. Now it's a recessive mutation, so when you breed them together, you're going to get more pied-veiled chameleons. I'm here with Mongo, the 13-year-old male iguana. Now he's a true animal ambassador. He's been doing children's educational shows since he was just a little baby. Now he's 7 years old now, and he's strictly a vegetarian. Some iguanas as babies can have a little bit of protein like crickets and so on like that, but once they hit about 12 to 18 inches, it's really important to keep them just on vegetables because most people think the more protein in their diet, the more aggressive they'll be. And as you can see, Mongo here is certainly far from aggressive. All right, what I have here is a real pleasure. This is actually a T-positive albino green anaconda, and it's got a really dodgy personality, so you have to really be careful. But this is a one-of-a-kind animal that came out of South America as a baby. And again, green anacondas are really the monster animals. They're one of the heaviest bodied snakes in existence. She's going to probably eventually max out at a couple 100 pounds plus. And again, they're really dodgy when it comes to getting bit. And when they're this size, when they bite you, trust me, they pack a punch. Gotta be really careful with her. But you can see, what a beautiful snake. And again, if you're on the business end of that mouth, it's gonna hurt a little bit. I'm gonna try to stay away from her. But again, it's been a real pleasure to hold something that's the only one in the whole world. Oh, she's awesome. You guys know that I'm becoming a leopard gecko nut, and my buddy Matt Barczyk from BHB Reptiles has done it again. He's got one of these cool leopard geckos. This happens to be a paradox leopard gecko, and let me see if I can get it right. The head is actually a Tremper Super Snow, and the body is a Mac Snow. So I tell you, this is one wild, weird animal. I have no idea what the future is, but I'm telling you what, I hope he can reproduce this little sucker. I'm at the Triple L Reptile stand here with my good friend that also does a YouTube show. You can check him out over at LLL Reptile 1. She has some pretty cool things, and I hear she even gets proposed to every now and then. But that's a whole other thing. Jen, you know that I love Colubrid, so you have something to show me. So what do you got here?
This is a really awesome Cape Baja gopher snake.
Got a really good attitude too.
Oh yeah, no, it's a sweetheart, real mellow, kind and gentle. It has a lot to say. It talks to us. oh, don't you dare.
It's nice to see someone else get bit on the show besides me or Chewy. But Baja gophers get about maybe 6 foot or so?
No, actually they stay fairly small. They're going to get about 4 feet, maybe 5. They get this really gorgeous, vivid coloration as they mature. There's some locales that are actually going to be really, really intense red. I got really into the Pituophis recently, and this is one of my favorite species. We only occasionally get tiny little babies. We've got this male that came with another female, and he's what's left, and he's just gorgeous. He's got all the yellows and stuff in him, and a lot of the Cape Bajas get like that.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving this guy's attitude, and if there's one snake at a show that I want to bring home something that's going to bite someone at the shop. Anyways, you guys make sure to check out Jen's YouTube channel. She's got really cool, informative videos, and until next time, Jen.
Yep, I'll see you soon.
I have a Dumeral's monitor here. They're an arboreal species of monitor, just like all of those tree climbers. They have super sharp claws, and this one's getting into me pretty good. When they're babies, they're born really bright with yellow and orange banding, and as they get older, they get to this adult color. They're only going to get about 3.5 foot or so. They're a little bit more flighty animal, but they're still a cool pet lizard. There's been so many awesome animals here at the reptile show, and it's been my pleasure to go around and just show you some of them. Until the next show, I'll see you guys later.
All right, guys, I've said it a lot, and you've seen it a lot here. The guys here love playing pranks, and with April Fool's Day coming up, I'm getting a little nervous. I want to know, what is the best April Fool's Day prank that you've ever played on someone, or what is a prank that someone's pulled on you? Leave a comment below and let us know.
So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. There certainly was some amazing animals in there. If you guys ever want to follow any of my animal adventures, make sure to hit me up over on Facebook and Twitter at SnakeBytesTV. Till next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
So which morph is not a codominant? Well, if you guessed C, ghost, you are absolutely right. That one's recessive. Nice work.
The last example I want to show you of a codominant gene is a cinnamon pastel, and the basic reason why I want to show you this is because, again, a lot of the superforms are really exaggerated mutations, and when you breed cinnamon pastel to cinnamon pastel, you get what they call a super cinny, or a solid blackish brown snake.